and start the presentation with Luka Jelovkan from the Slovenian Cyber Resilience Lab. Luka, floor is yours.
Hello. Thank you, Matthias. Thank you very much. As mentioned, my name is Luka Jelovkan, and I'm a project leader for the Future Resilience Pilot Slovenian Cyber Resilience Lab. So when people think about Slovenia, it's usually about our nature or tourism or sport. But today I'm here to speak about our small business sector and the security issues that it's facing. While Slovenia has always been and still is a land of small family-owned businesses, from 2010 onwards, we faced a huge boom in development of startups as well as startup support environments. And today there are almost 600 companies registered as startups in Slovenia, which might not seem a lot for some bigger countries, but for Slovenia, it's quite a lot. And it's not just the number. Slovenia is also recognized as one of the regional leaders in blockchain, fintech, IoT development, medtech, Web3 technologies, as well as an emerging hub of innovation in Central and Eastern Europe. And also, while not necessarily as a startup, there is also a ton of other small or medium-sized enterprises which are research and development leaders in their respective fields, which all sounds great, right? But since I'm a security professional, it's my job to have a little more cautious, or some would even say pessimistic outlook on that, because where some people see success, other people see opportunity. And what all the companies that I have mentioned before have in common is their value in intellectual property, valuable development data, as well as their business plans. And that's where certain people, often called cyber criminals, see their opportunities. Their motivation varies. It might be monetary, they might be hired or employed by their competitors, or they might even be or act as nation-state actors. What they have in common is the fact that all of them will at some point use cyberspace to engage in their targets. And obviously, Slovenian startups and development sector is not prepared. It's widely known that startups often lack funding for developing anything but their products and support systems that will launch them to the market as soon as possible, of course. So developing cybersecurity function is out of the question most of the time. And even if they have the funds, they often lack the time, knowledge, and of course the awareness to do something about it. And the cyber threats change quite quickly. It's hard to keep up with the trends and measures. And it's thus easier for some to turn the blind eye, even if they know that there is something that they should be doing. So what can we do about it? Well, Slovenian Cyber Resilience Lab was created for this purpose. Generally speaking, we want to help the Slovenian research and development system with tackling cybersecurity challenges. But we know that this is quite a complicated topic, and a support system as such must come from the top. So creating and testing policies to create cyber resilience is a first step in the right direction. And secondly, we must focus on the future, as our dependency on digital technologies and cyberspace in general will only grow in the future, while introducing new technologies, AI, and so on. So the first challenge that they want to address is the fact that currently we do not actually have a good insight into how startups and research and development companies or enterprises, organizations tackle cybersecurity related issues. We know that there is a lack of activities when it comes to cybersecurity management. And when you speak with the representatives of different startups, you usually receive standard answers such as lack of money or lack of time. Or, however, there are quite a lot more factors which influence the development of cybersecurity function in different organizations. So our first aim is to actually identify the factors that affect cybersecurity development in startup environment and how these factors will be changing in the future. It's very important in the context of foresight as well, since cybersecurity development is quite a complex topic. with a lot of factors that affect it. So when we speak about future scenarios, we should focus on how certain scenarios affect the broader development of cybersecurity and not the security of a company, of a startup, or the organization itself. And secondly, we need to, of course, use these findings to address the cybersecurity related issues that organizations are facing right now, and most importantly, will be facing in the future. As mentioned, we need to address these issues by introducing policies on strategic level. Based on the most influential factors, we will design different scenarios which could seriously impact the ability to develop and manage cybersecurity programs in the future. We will then test the proposed policies with solutions against future scenarios to see which policies stand the test. And throughout the whole process, we want to include as much stakeholders as possible, as we do not only want to test the effectiveness of the policies, but also their practicality and ease of implementation. One of the biggest challenges that we will face during the whole duration and even after the end of this project is definitely connected to the rapid changes in cyberspace. Not only do we see new technologies emerging weekly, but we also see rapid changes in the threat landscape itself. That's why we want to focus on the ability of startups to develop cybersecurity programs in the future and not necessarily focus on their predicted vulnerability to the cyber threats of the future. A certain level of vulnerability will always exist, but it's on us to determine how we will help startups to tackle the threats of the future. So we want to create policies that will not protect the companies directly, but will rather provide them with a lean and agile cybersecurity framework, which will then be able to tailor to protect them from the most future threats, wherever those will come from. So throughout the length of the project, we will use a mixture of qualitative and quantitative methods. For example, we have already conducted a thorough review of relevant scientific and professional literature with the aim of identifying as much social, technological, economic, and environmental, political, legal, and ethical factors that impact the development of cybersecurity, and have already created a factor long list. Consequently, we are also in the process of preparing a questionnaire, which will be distributed to stakeholders in Slovenian research and development communities to determine which factors are impacting their ability to develop cybersecurity the most, which will then be discussed further on in the first workshop. Foresight methods will be the core of the project, but will be mainly used when it comes to the development of scenarios and the workshops, and of course policy testing. And of course, during the duration of the whole project, the methods may change along with the progress of the project to align them with our findings and general progress. So I believe that we have the biggest team in the whole consortium. Our team consists of 6 organizations, and this of course, as cybersecurity is a complex topic, we wanted to include as many different experts as possible. I specifically come from security consulting company SGB, where I act as operational director, and then I have also a background in both operational and academic research. Mr. Jure Tomc is a representative from business development company Crashco Innovations, and he's very active in the startup ecosystem. Ms. Bernarda Škrabar-Damjanović is one of the leading Slovenian experts in the field of industrial and cyber espionage, and is a representative of Institute for Security and Strategic Research. And on the academic side, we have Ms. Kaja Prislan-Mihelic, PhD, who is an associate professor at Faculty of Criminal Justice and Security, University of Maribor. She specializes in cybersecurity. Ms. Tanja Kožuh is a representative of Primorska Technology Park, one of the largest startup support organizations in Slovenia. And Mr. Tomaž Čibela is a representative of Slovenian Chamber of Commerce, the largest private sector interest group in Slovenian economy. So in the end, Slovenian Cyber Resilience Lab has 3 strategic objectives. First, we want to strengthen the weakest links in the national economic security chain. from one of the most prominent threats, being cybersecurity. Second, we want to create more secure working spaces and to make the path of young entrepreneurs as smooth as possible. And third, we want to do our part in contributing to job security, social security, and economic security in Slovenia. We believe that Future Resilience project will provide very useful results, not only with our pilot, but with other pilots as well, as of course it's necessary to start thinking about long-term solutions instead of instant ones. Okay, this would be it from my side. Should you have any questions, you can write them in chat or get in touch with us at the following email address. Thank you very much, and all the best, everybody.